morning. Mr. Blendy, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ready to begin for Charm TV. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City's Thursday, August 25th, 2022 docket. My name is Nicholas Blendy. I'm the board's Deputy Executive Secretary, and unless the chairman has any preliminary comments, I'm happy to call the first case.
Yeah, good morning. Let's get started.
All right. Item number 1 before the board today. JFO Incorporated, trading as O'Donnell's Pub. Premises are located at 531 South Potomac Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license and an application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service.
Would you all raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and statements that you make prove the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Good morning. Are you Jessica Coco?
I am Jessica.
And who is Dale Nero? Okay. And you, sir, are?
I'm John O'Donnell.
Okay.
I own the business. These are my kids. We're putting them on the business.
Okay. Well, who wants to tell us about this?
I can tell you. It's just mainly for, my dad's getting up in age and for health reasons. And I know. It's so his children are on the license. I know. So that we don't have to do this, again in the future.
So this operation has been ongoing. You've been running it
Yes.
for how long?
I've been there since 1990.
Okay. And these are your kids?
Yes.
Okay. And so you want to add them to the license?
Well, Gary Parker's coming off. Jess and Dale are going on.
Yes.
Okay. Are you on the license?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to stay on the license?
I'm not on the license.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said you were. Okay. All right. So he's coming off and they're going on.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And tell me about your background.
I am a physician assistant. I work at Good Sam Inpatient Rehab. I've been there for about 8 months now.
And are you going to be involved in the business?
Yes.
And how much?
I guess more so as the years go on. And
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to be hands-on if you're doing the physician assistant
Yeah,
job, right?
exactly.
And how about you, sir?
Good. I'm an electrician. I've been an electrician for 9 years now.
Are
Just
you-
started working more for myself, started my own company and stuff. And I used to bartend there for a little bit too. So like I'm there helping out. Sometimes.
Well, who's going to manage?
Me.
So you're going to stay there as manager, just put them on the
Really,
license?
just in case anything happens to me, it's just a smooth transition.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, and so your staff's staying all the same?
Everything's the same.
Everything's the same. You had a violation 2 years ago, but,
All for the COVID thing.
is that what, yeah,
One time in 35 years.
okay. So you all realize you're going to be responsible for anything that happens there. So I know you both have your own professions, and you're relying on him, but
Yeah.
it's going to be on your heads. If anything happens, the license, we could revoke it, fine it, or anything else. So any violations of our rules and regulations, sales to minors, or anything else,
Okay.
you've got to keep being on top of the books, the employees and everything, okay? Just want to make sure you understand, because you're
Thank you.
otherwise very busy, I'm sure, in your lives. Okay, commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
All right. Okay, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application and the testimony received this morning, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continued outdoor table service of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on the application file, and the information received today, I approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, well, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for your time.
That concludes this matter before the board. Applicants have 180 days to complete the transfer by law, which was approved preliminarily by the board this morning. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Please.
Item number 2 on today's docket has been postponed. That brings us to item number 3 on today's docket. Bureauteca Management LLC, trading as Bureauteca, 1520 Clipper Road. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license and an application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment of said license.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadensky representing the applicants in this application. This is an application for transferring an existing license. In reality, the applicants here have been managing it since 2012. during the period of time they were trying to get issues with regard to the property and the business completed, which they have, and now they're going to have a full-time transfer of the business, and of course they've acquired the property. In the meantime, there'll be no changes in the operation. Their parties are familiar with the rules and regulations and indicated they've been running the business since 2012.
And which one of you is Jasmine Noor? Okay, and are you Elizabeth Rafferty?
Yes.
And you, sir, are Michael Moran?
Yes.
Okay. And they're full-time working there?
Yeah, and between the three of them, yeah.
Okay. There were some violations in 2010 and 13. I don't know whether those were COVID-related or whether those were sales. But you have to be attentive to that because it could be a problem going forward. Staff and everything is remaining the same?
Yes, the same people have been working there for.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No
None.
questions.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Knesge, on the basis of the materials contained in the application and your proffer and any testimony received, a vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continued live entertainment of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on the information received on the application filed for this property, I approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you and good luck, folks.
That concludes this matter before the board. Applicants will receive follow-up instructions from this agency on how to legally complete the transfer, which by law must occur within 180 days of today's preliminary approval by the board. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Item number 4 on today's docket, We Out Here Enterprises LLC, trading as Uptown Liquors. Premises are located at 2115 West North Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license and an application to transfer ownership and requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Once again, for the record, Melvin J. Kanansky, 320 North Charles Street, representing the applicants. This is an application for an ongoing business. The applicant here, Mr. Singh, has experience in the business. He had worked at the Caton House for one of his relatives for about 1.5 to 2 years. He's been working with the people who are there. He's going to keep on most of the staff, he's familiar with the rules and regulations of the liquor board, and he'll be alcohol certified. And, he's also familiar with the fact of the statutory requirement there. I think it's 10 to 10 regarding the hours of operation.
And Ms. Makovsky is the resident on the license. She's not going to be active.
You're not going to work. You're just going to help out if they need you, right? I like her name,
It's a beautiful name, yes.
Anastasia.
Um,
We found her.
Everything's staying the same. Now, they had sales violations, so you're aware of that, sir?
Sale to minors, yeah. And I think the lady there's retiring. I think that's why she wants to get out of the business.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
None.
Questions?
All right, thank you. All right, on the basis then of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and any testimony received, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with delivery of alcoholic beverages of this Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on the application filed, I also approve the application to transfer ownership requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I approve the application to transfer ownership and the request for delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kanaski. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Scan it.
That concludes this matter before the board. Applicants will receive follow-up correspondence from this agency with instructions on how to legally complete the transfer, which by law must occur within 180 days of today's hearing. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Please.
Item number 5 on today's docket, Satguru Janak JI LLC, trading as Akbar Restaurant. Premises are located at 823 North Charles Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license and an application to transfer ownership requesting off-premises catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Once again, for the record, Melvin J. Kanansky, 320 North Charles Street, representing the applicants. This is, we all are probably familiar with the Akbar. They've been actually running the place for the last year as a result of the death of the former licensee, who was, the license was renewed in the name of his wife as a personal representative. But for all purposes, they've been in there since, for the last year operating, so they are familiar with the operation of the business. They have the experience. They are familiar with the rules and regulations of the liquor board, and with regard to being alcohol certified. And there won't be any change in the operation. It'll be continue, and it's a restaurant right on Charles Street there.
Okay, so who is Pardeep Kumar? Is that the,
He's not here.
that he's going to be involved as well?
Yeah, just running the business, not on the liquor license.
Okay, can we swear them in, Mr. Konecki?
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
What is your name, sir?
Dharmadeep Singh?
Okay, and I see on here that you have a 50% interest in this license, is that right? And are you going to work in this business? You are, okay. And you, sir, are Mr. Meir?
Yes, sir.
And you are a resident on the license? Are you working in?
I'm going to help them out too.
Okay. And the other licensee, Mr. Kumar, you say is not present?
He's not a licensee. He's the owner of the LLC, but not an
Oh, okay.
owner.
Okay, so he's not going to be on the license. All right. Wanted to just get that clear. Commissioners have questions?
None.
No questions.
I know for the record, there's no violations either, so. On the basis of the materials contained in the application and proper from counsel and testimony received, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with off-premises catering, delivery of alcoholic beverages for this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on the application file, I approve the application to transfer ownership requesting off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership and the request of off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Thank you. Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you, and good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
That concludes this matter before the board. Applicants will receive follow-up correspondence from this agency with instructions on how to legally complete the transfer, which was preliminarily approved by the board today and by law must occur within 180 days of today's hearing. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Item number 6 on today's docket, RGMM LLC, trading as Classic Bar and Liquors, 231 East Baltimore Street.
Once again, for the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 320 North Charles Street. This is going to be requested for, to continue this. There was ongoing discussions, and here are the applicants, and been talking with the Downtown Partnership, Mr. Brad Burns, also with Councilman Costello as of early this morning, and they are in the process of entering into an MOU. There's some things they have to straighten out, and we felt it was best to get them. Mr. Councilman Costello said that he would be very much opposed unless there's an MOU, and they're very close to that, so I think they will need a little more time, so if we can continue it. Once the MOU is signed, I can let staff know and put it back in, okay?
That's fine. The commissioners have any objection?
None.
None.
Okay, the case will be continued then.
All right, thank you very much.
This matter will be continued to a future hearing of the board. Next matter, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Item number 7 on today's docket, HSSH Quan Incorporated, trading as Eager and St. Paul Liquor Store, 1001 St. Paul Street. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license and a request for a hardship extension of 180 days under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-2202.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and the Commissioners. J.U. representing the petitioner, Ms. Kwan and Mr. Barrett.
So I see in your letter that the licensee's husband passed away,
That is correct.
and so what's the situation now?
Currently, his business is closed as of Valentine's Day this year, which was February 14th. That's when he had a stroke. And on June 14th, he passed away. So all that time, Mrs. Kwan had to actually tend after her husband, who was in the intensive care unit. So the store has been closed. There is a pending transfer application that has been put in, but nonetheless, just in case that deal falls through, we have to have this extension, hardship extension approved, so that in case that deal falls through, we still have time enough to find a another licenses to
So it's
transfer.
her
the license.
intention to transfer it. She doesn't want to operate it.
She right now, I think she's she's very sad, and she's really want to get out of the business. That's where her
Commissioners
husband.
have any questions?
Yes.
Did you have
At
something?
the buyer.
Oh, okay.
It's closed, and we've met with the community, and it seems to have gone well. And we hope to be on the docket soon.
Okay.
Just 90 days, Mr.
It's
Chairman.
180, I believe.
180?
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Yu and
Thank you.
Mr. Previs. On the basis of your letter of July 21, 2022, and your proffer this morning, I vote to approve the 180-day hardship extension.
I also vote to approve a 180-day hardship extension.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the request for hardship extension of 180 days.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Yu.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
That concludes this matter before the board. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Item number 8 on today's docket, In Like Flynn LLC, In Like Flynn Tavern LLC, trading as In Like Flynn Tavern. Premises are located at 1371 Andre Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license and a request for a hardship extension of 180 days under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-2202.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 320 North Charles Street. This is a request for a hardship extension. The last time the place was open was February, I think it was Valentine's Day. They're closed. In the meantime, we do have an application pending for a transfer. Was put in. Mr. Previous represents the in like Flynn people, but in an abundance of caution, we'd want to get the hardship extension in case things would ever fall through somewhere along the line.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, you represent the LLC?
Mr. Chairman, what's occurred is that due to COVID, the In Like Flynn, they couldn't keep the doors open, so they handed the keys back to the landlord. We have an agreement to cooperate in the transfer of the liquor license.
Okay. All right.
We are in favor of this request.
Commissioners have any questions?
No question.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Previous. On the basis of your letter, Mr. Kennedy, of July 27, 2022, and the proffers from council this morning, I vote to approve a 180-day hardship extension. Commissioners?
Based on the letter received and proffered by council, I also approve a 180-day hardship extension.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I approve the request for hardship extension of 180 days.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
That concludes this matter before the board. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Please.
Item number 9 on today's docket, So Baltimore LLC, trading as Brewers Hill Pub and Grill, 3734 Fleet Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license and a request for a transfer hardship extension of 90 days under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-1705B.
Once again, for the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 320 North Charles Street, representing the applicants here. They're really right at the cusp of getting this thing done. They were up against like the last day or so, and we couldn't take a chance of not having transfer. In fact, I think everything's done. If the board grants the 90 days, he has the transfer authorization, and he's ready to go to get a transfer. But in the meantime, we have to get this 90-day extension.
Are you Mr. Delaney or Mr. Fitzgerald?
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Okay. Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kadensky. On the basis then of your letter of July 19, 2022, your proffer this morning and any testimony, I vote to approve a 90-day hardship extension for this BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
Thank you.
Commissioners?
Based on your request letter, I also approve the request for a 90-day hardship extension.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the request for transfer hardship extension of 90 days.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you.
That concludes this matter before the board. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Item number 10 on today's docket, Cowley Records LLC, trading as trade name pending. Proposed premises is 402 North Howard Street. This is a request for a transfer hardship extension of 90 days for a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-1705B.
Good morning.
Good morning. Abraham Hurl on behalf of Cowley Records LLC. With me is the licensee, or the potential licensee. We're asking for a hardship because we've had some difficulties with the fire marshal, not necessarily in terms of what they're asking for being reasonable or not, but just being a little more extensive than we anticipated initially. We're doing sprinklers and things like that, and it's significantly time-consuming. In the meantime, we've been working on the property every single day, and we are expecting to be open inside of the next 90 days, and hopefully that'll be it.
And are you Mr. Hajipour? Have I said your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, commissioners have questions?
None.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Hurdle, on the basis of your letter of August 5th, 2022, and your proffer this morning and any testimony, I vote to approve a 90-day transfer hardship extension for this BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on your letter dated August the 5th, 2022, I also approve your request for a 90-day hardship extension.
Based on the testimony and the letters provided today, I also approve the request for transfer hardship extension of 90 days.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank
You're
you.
excused.
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, good to see you.
Always a pleasure.
That concludes this matter before the board. The next matter, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Item number 11 on today's docket, Brazil Gourmet Marketplace, LLC, trading as Brazil Gourmet Marketplace. Premises are located at 2000 Eastern Avenue, holders of a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license. And this is a request for a transfer hardship extension of 90 days under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-1705B.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of the applicants. We had a hearing. This is for 2000 Eastern Avenue. This was the license of the former adult entertainment place. We've run into some issues with the taxing authorities with the prior entity having been out of business for so many years and trying to clear up what's properly owed and not. And we respectfully request an additional 90 days.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
None.
All right. Thank you. On the basis of your letter then of August 2, 2022, and your proffer this morning, I vote to approve a 90-day transfer hardship extension for this Class D beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on the letter received and your proffer, I also approve your request for a 90-day extension.
Based on
hardship.
testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the request for transfer hardship extension of 90 days.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Previs.
That concludes this matter before the board. The final matter, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Item number 12 and the last matter on today's docket is Marshalls Incorporated, trading as Marshalls Bar. Premises are located at 2351 Washington Boulevard. Holders of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, and this is a request for a transfer hardship extension of 90 days under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-1705B.
Once again, for the record, Melvin J. Kadansky, 320 North Charles Street, representing Mr. Marshall. We're running into problems, I think, your staff meeting with the Sales Tax Controller's Office. I don't know what's going on over there, but they're having some serious problems trying to get some things straightened out. Mr. Marshall's taken over the place for his father and been there for years, and this is the last piece of the puzzle that we need. He indicated to me that he has talked with the sales tax people, and I think we should be able, if we can get the 90-day extension to finish it up.
Okay. Commissioners?
No, just as, yeah, go ahead.
None.
No, so this is bureaucracy. It's a bureaucratic issue.
At its worst or at its best, depends on which side of it. Between them and the fire department, and it's insane. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Kadansky, on the basis of your letter of August 1, 2022, your proffer this morning, I vote to approve a 90-day transfer hardship extension for this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on a letter received August 1, I also approve the request for a 90-day extension for hardship extension for Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
Yes, based on testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the request for a transfer hardship extension of 90 days.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
Thank you. Good luck, sir.
That concludes this matter before the board, and that concludes all matters posted on today's docket, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I don't know if it was worth the car fare this morning, Larry, was it? Yeah. Well,
We're off the record.
yes, thank you, everybody. We're off the record.
All right, so that concludes all matters before the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City. The board shall stand in recess until Thursday, September the 8th, 2022 at 10:30 a.m. Notice will be posted on our website. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charm TV.